Swift just released her 10th studio album titled Midnights, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. And overall, the entire thing is so much fun to listen to and really good as well, just to sit in bed and just observe your thoughts and really just have a fantastic time. In case anyone was wondering, my favorite songs are Lavender Haze and Karma. So of course I had to commemorate it somehow, and that was turning her into Lego. And I couldn't think of a better way than to take one of the LEGO art sets and turn it into a Taylor Swift album cover. But even better, LEGO ended up releasing one a couple of months ago dedicated to the King of Pop, Elvis, purely to tie in with Baz Luhrmann's Elvis film. And you know, why not take that, the King of Pop, and turn it into the rightful Queen of Pop? And with her taking out every single spot on the top 10 of the Billboard Top 100, I mean, she rightfully deserves it. So for those of you who aren't familiar, LEGO recently released a line called LEGO Art, which were basically a collection of LEGO mosaics, and usually the designs haven't been that good. Personally, I really like the idea, and I've had a lot of fun building them, but more importantly, I've had a lot of fun with all of the custom designs that people have come up with and all of the different types of mosaics and rebuilds and things like that. And with vinyl's massive revival over the last several years and having those giant album covers, I thought it was only a natural progression to make the album cover into a LEGO mosaic. And Taylor as well released a bunch of different versions of the album, or with different album artworks that you could put together to make a clock and really just be a big sort of statement art piece, which is another reason why I thought this would be a really fun idea. Now, LEGO mosaics are definitely one of the easier things in LEGO to do, and with the recent release of the Elvis mosaic, I just looked at that thing and I was like, well, I mean, that's got a lot of the same colors that I would probably need in order to make a Taylor Swift album cover. So with very minimal interest, I went and picked up the LEGO Elvis art for about 144 Australian dollars. It was on sale, it was pretty cheap, and I basically just threw the instructions away and made my own little Taylor Swift mock. Now this process was very simple. There's a bunch of websites online where you can import a photo and it will spit you out a LEGO image, so I did exactly that and basically tried to scale it as close as I could to the amount of studs that would be in a LEGO art set. Once that was done, I exported the photo and I took it into Photoshop, as LEGO art sets are built into 9 different sections, each of which is a different square, and you build one by one and piece everything together. So in order to make this process as easy as I could, I tried to split it up as close as I could to the actual set, and then basically just had to try and color match the image that I had with the pieces that I had. So I kept the pieces sorted by color so this whole process would be quite easy, and then basically one by one I tried to replicate it and get it as close to this image as I could, which definitely was not going to be spot on because LEGO only has so many colors, and this image spat me out some colors that definitely do not exist in real life when it comes to LEGO. So in an ideal world, the shading would be a bit better, the colors would flow and transition a little bit better, but I mean, there are limitations with LEGO, so you just sort of gotta make do. Now, before I even begun, I knew there would be one glaring issue with this project, and that is that the set does not have enough white studs overall. I just looked at the pile in the product images and I knew I would be in trouble. So to start off with, I did the Midnights lettering and basically tried to fill in all of the space around that, and then I was like, you know what, I'll just go into my parts collection of white and see what else I can find just to fill up the space, and really just focused on the photo of Taylor that is on the album cover. Because really at the end of the day, that is the most important part of this artwork and is definitely the thing, I guess, that you can rebuild and take from the Elvis art and make yourself if you were to do this in real life. In a way, it sort of felt like a paint by numbers game, basically looking at this image and picking up a stud and placing it on the plate. And overall, it was a pretty easy process. There was only a couple of points where I sort of got confused as to which color I should use. Also, I sort of look at the finished product and like her cheek looks a little bit weird, but overall, I'm really happy with how it turned out. And it is definitely a trust the process type of thing. Looking at it up close, I just could not tell if it was gonna look like Taylor at all. And I really had to stand back and sort of just observe it for what it was. And the further I stepped back, the better it looked. But I was able to recreate this entire image pretty much primarily out of all of the pieces that were in the LEGO Art Elvis set, of course, besides the white. So I just filled that in with a bunch of leftover pieces, but ideally every single thing would be a single white stud to match the rest of the project. But overall, here is the finished LEGO art mock that I made. The lips were honestly the most daunting part, and I actually think that turned out pretty well. Really, the only part that I'm not a huge fan of is her cheek, but I feel like the rest of it shading wise turned out really good, especially with the limited color color palette that LEGO has when it comes to like flesh tones and things like that. I'm really proud of it, and I mean the blue from the Elvis art really did a number for mostly just like the Midnight's text, as well as her eyeshadow that is on the album art cover. The red as well for her lips really paid off, and overall using that set I think was a fantastic idea because the end result on how I guess easy it was to adapt Elvis into Taylor Swift was amazing. Now for me personally, in my parts collection, I did not have enough white pieces, so I really just stacked a bunch of pieces and grabbed whatever I could to fill up the rest of this canvas. But again, I highly suggest getting a bunch of round white 1x1 little tiles if you wanted to complete this yourself, which you can easily do off bricks and pieces, or if you had multiple of these art sets, you could always use that as well. But besides the white, there was no additional pieces that were used, and I mean a LEGO art kit comes complete with a little hook, so you can even hang it up on the wall. And I just love the fact that this reminds me just of a vinyl so much when it comes to the size and scale of this thing. It's absolutely incredible. If you want to do this project for yourself, I definitely recommend screenshotting the video. I'll also try and make instructions if I can and link them in the description down below and at the cards at the top here if you want to try this for yourself. But really, again, all you need is that Elvis art and I guess some time to sit down and do this one by one. It's a really easy task and also something you could do with a big group of people. And even if you just wanted to do Taylor on her own, you absolutely could. It's really simple, and then you wouldn't have to worry about all these extra white pieces. But that's how I ended up turning Taylor Swift into LEGO form. And if you guys enjoyed this project and enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel down below, and let me know as well what your favorite song off Midnight's is, and if you're going to be heading to the Eras tour. I am very, very excited for that. I don't think I'll be able to go, but I am very jealous of everyone who can. And of course, until next time, I'll see you later.